Pleasant Friday morning to my fellow CEOs. Happy POS Day! My name is Love. Once again, I'll be your host for today in our Principles of Scaling. So if you are alive and kicking here with us, please comment naman in our Facebook Live or even in our Zoom chat. Happy POS Day! Let me see your energy to check if we are already there. You go. Thank you so much. Happy POS Day, everyone. As we all know, Friday is POS Day, and it is with great honor to welcome you in CEOInsight Asia Executive Series, The Principles of Scaling. Thank you so much. Hello to our, ilan ba tayo dito sa Zoom? Mga 10? And we have 14 million, 14 people watching in our Facebook Live. So please also share this live so that more people can watch our Principles of Scaling. And of course, we do this every single week, every Friday. Siguro except lang next Friday kasi may mangyayari. You already know that. But yes, we do this every week because we want to install DNA principles that scale organizations, which means to say we help build institutions for legacy beyond simply making money. And as you all know po, in our POS, we want, at least for everyone, to get one key takeaway that you can immediately apply in your organization. So let's get ready, take our notes, and let's get started. And thank you. I can see heart reactions in our Facebook Live. Ang saya pala. Thank you so much. Hello po. And of course, our theme for the month of October, we are going to focus on leadership. And our focus theme is actually missional. So what is missional? It's building institutions for legacy beyond simply making money. And how do we do that? Just remember these three things: operating in excellence, progressing in experience, and thinking in generations. And I know in the past weeks, grabe matindi, powerful ang mga discussions in the past weeks, because just a quick review. Week 1, we had leading with different hats, the architect. Week 2, just last week, leading with different hats, the operator, at matinding usapan about excellence, really on fire, and much more this week. Today, it's leading with different hats, the talent multiplier. And let me let you in a secret, no, na share ni Sir Fa kanina. Sabi niya, itong talent multiplier na hindi pa niya natuturo sa atin. So I'm very excited to learn something new na naman for today. And I hope that you too are excited. If you are, please send talent or comment talent in our comment section or in our Zoom chat box. There you go. Thank you so much. All right, I know that you're excited just like me. But before that, let me share a few announcements muna to kick off. First announcement is about our circle meetings. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow CEOs, right now we have 40 plus CEO executive circle members unlocked with more than 30 companies and brands. And as you all know, we have multiple circle meetings happening every weekday from different circle multipliers for men, women, and even couples. So if you want to become an executive member of CEOInsight Asia, please check the sign-up link that will be sent by our operator, and our membership fee is 15,000 annually with One Executive Pass for CEO Summit happening next week. And speaking of next week, we will have our second announcement, and that's about our CEO Summit. Yay! If you are excited, please comment CEO Summit in our comment section because this will already happen next week po. You heard it right. October 28, 2022. See you there. And of course, allow me to present to you our official list of faculties. We have, of course, our CAA founders, Juan Paulo Hilario of Labor Waxing Philippines, Sir BK Rivera of Sellers Hub Incorporated, and of course, Sir Florentino A. Hernando, or Sir Fa of Fa Hernando Executive Advisory. And along with them are the following powerful faculties. We have Steve C. of Great Yields E-Commerce Corporation, Marvin Galang of One Tax, Catherine Castro of Beppo, Kim Lato of Kim Store, Celine Yu of Chevrolet Philippines, and Paco Magsaysay of Carmen's Best Ice Cream. Grabe, we have full pack of faculties, and definitely during the CEO Summit, we will be learning a lot and getting a lot of insights. And in addition to that, we will also be having our gala night and our first night to build more connections. Because take note po, everyone joining in the CEO Summit are CEOs and business leaders from different industries who are also looking forward to connect with all of you. And just last night, if I'm not mistaken, na-release na po ang outfit ng gala night. So, napapaisip na naman ako, ano ba talaga ang susuotin ko sa gala night? Do you feel the same way? Nakaka-pressure ang gala night. But looking at the benefit naman from that event, I'm really excited. Okay, so fellow CEOs, please get your tux and gowns ready for our gala night. And of course, our CEO Summit is open to CIA members and non-members. Executive passes are now available. Just please message Ms. Chris Año-Nuevo, and details about the registration is available on our CEOInsight Asia official page, and the link also will be shared by our operator. And para mas maengganyo pa tayo, let us all watch a CEO Summit invitation video from Mr. Carl Goss and Nani Razon, the founders of Gen Z's Digital Trading. Let's all watch this.
Hello guys. Good afternoon. Right now, nandito kami ngayon sa plane at papunta kami sa Pilipinas. So, ginawa namin itong video na to invite you and to encourage you to attend the event on October 28 ng CEOInsight. Sobrang grabe yung mga speaker and yung mga leadership team namin, executive pa-attend din namin lahat. So, sobrang importante at isa marami tayong matutunan. Iba yung mga speaker. Oo, sobrang grabe, sobrang siyempre kilala natin ang lahat. Sir BK Rivera, yan, ang ating camera, ang pinaka-highlight natin lahat. Sa Mr. Pa, dyan siya, start namin pang-iba. So, sobrang sulit ng CEOInsight, guys. At I'm sure na marami kayong matututunan kapag umattend kayo. At marami kayong mamimiss kapag hindi kayo umattend sa training and sa I believe may convention sila gala night. Gala night, parang sila gala night ang mga pala. So, guys, sobrang excited kami. Ulikit namin sa mga CEOInsight. At sana kayo rin. See you there. See you there, guys. Again, papaulit. Or register na kayo or nag-register din kayo para kung sino pa na mga CEOInsight. Alright. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you so much. Ang lupit, fresh from the airport, from the airplane, ang invitation video. Thank you so much po, Mr. Charles and Nani. And see you in our CEO Summit. Okay, now we are down to our last announcement before we go to our faculty discussion. And this is about our partnership with Self-Made Academy. So what I learned just last night, Sir Fa. We had actually the book launch of Simplify, right? And we just made a partnership with Self-Made Academy. So Principles of Scaling can now be streamed in the Self-Made Academy Facebook page. And please also make sure to check out their Facebook group, the Self-Made Movement. Thank you so much po, Self-Made Academy, for partnering with CEO Insights Asia. So let's go to the Facebook page, let's like and follow, and also join the Facebook group if you want to. Thank you so much. Now that's it for our announcements. Now we can head on to our faculty discussion. So allow me to introduce our faculty for today. You already know him, but he still deserves this introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one of the founders and the executive advisor of CEO Insights Asia. Four words, ulit-ulit kong sinasabi to, four words that best describe him: investor, advisor, husband, and daddy, the man who iconized the black suit and the red tie, Mr. Florentino A. Hernando. Sir Fa, good morning, Sir Fa.
Good morning, everyone! Ready na ba kayo sa sermon for today? Ayan, thank you, love, for that wonderful introduction. Ayan, everyone's excited. Ayan, ready na sila. Sige, thank you so much for that. So, I'll be talking about the talent multiplier for this session. Yan. So, dun sa mga nanonood sa atin sa Facebook, kindly like, heart react naman. Mas maganda yung heart eh. And then kindly share so that we can reach more people for today's session. A quick sort of announcement. Number one, wala tayong POS next week ha. Just being clear. Kasi live tayo, CEO Summit sa Novotel Araneta Center. Tama ba? Ayan, hindi Araneta Coliseum, manifesting. Baka kasi may mga nagtatanong, Araneta Coliseum ba? Hindi po. Sa Novotel tayo. Ayan, sige. So, formally introducing myself, my name is Florentino A. Hernando, or Fa. I'm one of the founders and the executive advisor of CEOInsight Asia. And our purpose is infusing ideas that build lasting companies. So, our mission is to help one another build our companies into something that we can transfer to our children, our children's children, built to last. Yun ang gusto nating mga institution na ginagawa natin. So if you're wondering kung ano pala, just a quick segue, if you're wondering ba't ganito ang boses ko, yes, I got sick. So may sakit po tayo. Nagkasakit na ba lahat? Uso ngayon yan, di ba? At alam mo naman tayo, never tayong nagpapahuli. Kaya, ayan, yan. So may sakit tayo for the past 5 days. We've been isolated. Tapos, syempre, may trangkaso, nag-chills ako. Medyo hindi tayo nakapag, bawal mag-shower, bawal minom ng malamig, and so on. But now, I'm better. Kahapon, ay wala na yung sakit ko. 2 days ago, wala na yung sakit ko. Kahapon, hindi muna ako naligo para hindi ako mabinat. And then today, kahapon, naligo na ako kahapon kasi medyo, nagkakati-kati na ako eh. At sinubukan ko tong Dr. Body, ayun, yung pala yun, may plug pala. Effective siya, nawala yung kate-kate ko. Coming from Eskasi, available sa inyong Lazada at Shopee. Tama ba? Ayan, hanapin nyo na lang. Dr. Body Antibacterial. All natural ito. Ayan, di ba? With coconut oil. Yan. Sorry na, joke. Sorry na, pagbigyan nyo na ako. Alam nyo naman, kaligayahan ko lang to. Babati pa ako dalawa. Happy birthday kay Vane. Ayan, hindi ko nabati ito last week. At kay Jen ng Seller Sub. Happy birthday sa inyo na nasa Coron. Diba? Sana all. Well, they earned it. Diba? Kaya tayo, bago tayo magkakaroon ng mga privileges, perform muna. Ayan, nag-umpisa na ako mag-sermon. Sorry. Okay. So, agendas na tayo. Sorry na, nadidistract ako eh. Agendas, ano bang pag-uusapan natin today? Conversation starter tayo. Merong babawi. Yung mga inaanak ko, last week, nagbakasyon yan eh. Pero ngayon, babawi yan. Yan. They will be sharing something about the conversation starter. We'll do a quick recap. Then we'll talk about leadership point of view. Hindi ko pa nasasabi to kasi medyo challenge pa just to build up yung system. But now, this is first time na i-share ko to all my client partners as well as to all the people who are watching this. So, leadership point of view, himayin natin yan and why it matters. And then we'll do a case study. Favorite natin to eh. So, magki-case study tayo and then we'll get practical. So, I have 30 more minutes. Ayan. So, alam mo naman tradition natin. Ano bang gagawin? Greet one another. Good morning sa comment page, sa comment section ng ating page at saka sa Zoom. Greet one another. Good morning and write down your company. I-represent yung company nyo para kilala natin kung sino ang nandito. So, good morning from the Mercs. Ayan, isa-shoutout natin kayo. Good morning, Sam Enterprise. Eskasi, di ba, Dr. Buddy? Ayan. sorry na. Comizen. Arcesi, nandito. Ayan. Si Ruel Mel, good morning. Of G Up. Ayan. MN Starnet. Ayan. So, for the rest, try kong i-shoutout na lang kayo in a bit. Sige. So, let's do a conversation starter. Ito yung question na pinost ko sa group namin, and then it will be answered by the founders of Comizen, si Emma at si Tina. I wanted to pick their brain. So as a leader, how do you specifically multiply yourself? So Emma and Tina, floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Good morning. So bali for me, specifically, so ang gagawin ko lang is araw-araw, dapat makasama ko sila, yung mga leaders na pagduduplicatean ko or pagmumultiplyan ko.
Oo.
So, ang purpose nun, kasi para ma-observe nila or ma-absorb kung paano ko mag-isip, mag-deliver, tsaka magsalita.
Ayan.
Di ba?
Alright.
So hanggang paulit-ulit ko yung gagawin. So hanggang sa makita ko na sila or makita ko na yung sarili ko mismo dun sa taong gusto kong pag-multiplyan. Yan, sir.
Alright. So talagang transference of character and competence. Because ato personal belief ko to, no? Leadership is caught than taught. You know, they caught, meaning they get it, they capture it, and you transfer it. You can teach. You know, sabi nga ni John Maxwell, we teach what we know, but ultimately we reproduce who we are. And multiplying yourself, kung sino tayo, that's how we multiply ourselves. Or that's what we multiply. It's not about what we say, it's who we are. Ayan. So good morning from Seller Sub. Na nasa Coron pa ba kayo, mga sirs, mga ma'am? Ayan. So, yes, ayan. So, eto na. So, pag Friday, di ba? Pag Sunday, may church. Friday din, may church, di ba? May sermon din pag Friday. Sa church, amen sa atin dito. Pagka business sermon, yes, ayan, flight namin later. Pastor, father. Okay. Sige, so let's do a quick recap first. Ayan. Let's talk about yung mga past 2 weeks. So we talk about in week 1, leading with different hats, the architect. And the main idea neto is to start, you must design a strong business model. You're going to architect the revenue engine of the organization. Kasi you're the architect eh. You are the one who will allow, or you will design what behaviors you allow to become part of your organization, and what behaviors you're going to disallow or discontinue, or kind of people you want to allow to join your team, and the kind of people you will not allow to join your team. So to start, you have to design the strong business model, but to scale, you must design a strong DNA, because you have a strong DNA, you attract the right people. You know, you don't chase, you attract. And this was a conversation kagabi sa Simplify, when one of the participants asked, sabi niya, how do you find the right people? Sabi ko, no, the right people will find you if your DNA is strong enough. You know, you're here and you're here because you got attracted. You know, shout out pala kay Adam Buddies, yan, CDMC, ayan. So that's the first week, no? The second week last week we talk about the operator, and bottom line dito, operational excellence is clockwork execution. And so it's like parang may orasan, di ba? Talagang pag sinabi mo ganito mangyayari sa itong oras, gano'n na mangyayari. Ba, pwede mo na siyang dependability basically ang operational excellence, reliability, kasi mahirap na you're banking on someone tapos hindi nag-deliver. Wait yun, 'di ba? Mahirap gano'n. You cannot scale if you can't rely on the immediate people that you have. How much more kung pag mas marami pa, 'di ba? So, yan, no. So how do you do operational excellence? This is the magic triangle. Sabi ni Ses, nakakapasok lang. At si Ferdy Platon nanonood. Ay, Ferdy, shout out sa iyo. So, do show, don't tell. Don't show it. Don't say it. Show it. Results. Di ba? Wag puro sabi-sabi. And then the second is do the thing until it's done. Halfway done is no different than badly. Di ba? Badly done or it's still considered undone. Diba? So halfway done is still considered undone. So you do the thing until it's complete and then do it better next time. Ayan. All right. So now we're going to talk about the talent multiplier, leading with different hats. So I want to start with leadership lessons. Okay? So magba-backtrack muna tayo and I want you to listen carefully to this session kasi maraming shifting of gears to. Maraming zooming out ang mangyayari. Right? So we started around May 20 ba to? O May 13, we had a Thanksgiving sa WeTrade, RD hosted, invited a lot of people. And that was my first experience of the startup community na e-com. Kasi we were attended with around mga 50 people to. Doon ko na-meet si Frank, ayan, sila Felix, sila Jap, ayan, andun ng SH team, ayan, andun sila Stephen. So it was like super fun. And parang imagine frat party, di ba, back in college. Yung ganun, no? Kasi usapan dinner lang. Anong nangyari? Wala nag-uwian eh. Yung buong kalsada, nakapark, mga sasakyan na wala na. Parang Lego sa Tetris eh. Nung pauwi eh. Kasi binara na namin yung daanan. No? And we had a great time dito. And we said, let's do it again. You know? So I went home and then had a conversation. July 1, nagkaroon naman ng CEO meetup hosted by our co-founding company na Sellers Hub. Ayan, kaya hindi na ka makauwi, barado yung parking. Yung pala yun, no? Ayan, so ito na mas matindi ito. Ayan, so nung nasa Thanksgiving, when we started sharing it, people saying, "Oy, sana next time sama kami." So we did this, no? So this around mga 70 na to, 60, 70 people. And that's, actually abot to ng 100 pero we need to control. Kasi medyo pinagbawalan tayo ng Airbnb. At again, usapan nito dinner lang, wala na. Tapos ko, kinabukasan, meron akong principles of scaling, alas 4, may nagbe-mastermind pa ron, no? Sabi ko, wala talaga. Antindi nito, no? So, Sellers Hub hosted this, sila Nani, sila Charles, mga kaibigan natin from Genesis. Ayan. And it was a great time again. So, after neto, na-mention ko sa mga kaibigang oso natin, yeah, and then I think it was Kim Lato. Sabi niya, next time sama ako. Sabi ko, okay, so let's do what we call now the CEO Summit. Mag-summit na tayo. We wanted to recreate the experience, pero ngayon sabi na natin, medyo mas professional na, mas na talaga. We want to give the best for our ecosystem. So, we're gonna give it the best speakers sa faculty. So we got Chevrolet, we got Steve C, we got Kim Lato, and so on and so forth. Now here's where things got a bit challenging. No, so they were gusto natin kasing hindi siya ganun ka expensive. So a lot of people can afford to. Who's touching my please don't touch my screen. Ayan. We're trying to make it affordable for people, so we make it a bit of hindi siya masyadong magastos, di ba? And then we created some partnerships. Long story short, some partnerships some commitments were made and didn't follow through. Okay, so it didn't follow through. So we were running out of time. Who's ever touching my please don't touch it. Ayan, di ba? Kung sino man ang humahawak ng aking screen. Ayan. All right. So some commitments were not made. Bottom line is we were faced with a challenge na we need to, we lowered down the price of the executive passes so that a lot of people can afford it. Sagot na ng mga partners natin yung tawag dito, yung mga operations didn't happen. So we're on our own. And for the past 2 months, we were struggling. And we didn't want anyone to know about it. And that's none of your business. That's not your problem. We created this. It's up to us. So with that, these are the lessons I learned. Now, tuloy na to. Diyos ko, at tindi ng, we pulled the miracle and no one even knew. what happened, no? So here's the first lesson I got from that, is to build, which means always run with the best. Only run with the best. Okay? Because yung importante ito na you are surrounded with the people na pag dumating yung dilubyo, sila yung gusto mong makakasama. That's the kind of people you want to be with. Because here's the second lesson. The second lesson is challenges will happen. Inside an organization, it's like storm. Okay? Ang tanong na lang dyan ay kung hindi, ang tanong dyan ay mangyayari ito, hindi tanong kung, kung mangyayari ba. Ang tanong na lang is kailan. At kung ready ba tayo. Yes, if you're still with me, please type yes, Ayan. So the first one is build your team and surround yourself with people whom you choose to be stranded with. Because challenges will happen, and when it does, it will happen. The question is, do you want to be with this kind of people? Ayan, yes, I. And challenges are essential element in team building. Okay, so sabi nga ni Einstein, di ba? You cannot solve a problem at a level of thinking at which it was created. So when we're facing challenges, we're forced to grow our thinking. And that really, challenges help us grow. Ganun din sa team. Crisis helps us grow and scale our competency. Now, if you don't have the right people, challenges will break you apart. But if you have the wrong people, challenges will bind you closer together and help make you do things you didn't know you can do. So when we were facing challenges in terms of the resources, kasi tos may restrictions pa, ang dami, and we're running out of time, we were able to do stuff na hindi namin alam na kaya pala natin to. And we were able to pull it off. No? So here's the lesson. When you have the right people, crisis binds you closer with each other to find a way. When you have the wrong people, crisis breaks you apart with each other to find out who is to blame. So dito, crises reveal the nature of the team. Are we really a team? Kasi kaya natin sabihin pag happy-happy, yeah, we're a team, we love one another, sure. But when crisis hits, that's when you realize sino ba talaga ang team ko. And shout out to si Mel, si Chris, we were in this together. No? Some people, BK, hindi alam ni BK kung ano yung nangyayari up to us. He got a wind of it. He knows, and I love BK for that kasi he didn't make me say it, but yung grabe yung yung initiative niya. So si BK was there, and Escasi boys, yan yung mga nag-reach out tayo. Kasi we don't want to bother others. This is our problem. We need to solve it on our own. And we were able to do so. Ayan. So, having said that now, may sakit ka nga. Oo. Ayan. Mapanakit pa, di ba? Ayan. Sige. So, having said that, this is the third lesson. The first one is build your team. Bind. The third one is break. Because as CEOs, we're not Superman. Diba? At kahit si Superman, merong Justice League. If you have the right people, you can take a break. You can relax. And hindi alam ng hindi alam ni Mel to, so I'm gonna catch her off guard. Because we were having this conversation during that time, nag-message siya sa akin ng ganito. So sabi niya, we are CIA's best engine. Lalo ka na, talking about me. We cannot take the risk of overwhelming you. Let's all think of the best possible ways to earn blank in 2 months. So, ako honestly, when I read this, I was saying like, I pity the other leaders right now. Kasi, you have a team who cares about you. As leaders, we want to be the one who's taking care of our team. Pero when crunch time, ang sarap ng feeling na, grabe, they have my back. Love pala nila ako. So, shout out kay Mel, no? Hindi niya alam to. So, sabi ko talaga, ay grabe. Kawawa naman yung mga CEO na hindi kagaya ko kasi ako love na love ako ng team ko. Ayan, di ba? So, this is what you want to have. Now, here's the question. As CEO, do you honestly feel this kind of care from your team? And if not, then let's build that relationship. Yes? Yes, if you're there, ayan. Shout out naman sa mga nanonood sa atin. Grabe the feels, ayan. Sabi ni Miss Kat Castro, faculty natin yan. So there, you want to build your team because before crisis, you build your team. During crisis, your team builds you. So this is what you want to have. Yes? Yes, Ayan. Okay. Okay, so now, having said that, zoom out tayo. The build, the bind, the break, this is what you call a leadership point of view. Intro lang yon. Ito talaga ang lesson natin. So, let's define what a leadership point of view is. Okay? A leadership point of view is a cohesive set of ideas and concepts that guides how a leader operates. Meaning, okay, you as a leader have certain principles, have ideas that dictate kung paano tayo kumilos. Okay, now, a leadership point of view is crafted, nabubuo itong leadership point of view by reflecting on the experiences that shape your leadership values. That's why when you become a leader, you're less about performer and more about a strategic thinker. Kasi now you have more time. If you're a performer, your time is spent doing things. When you're now a leader, your time largely is spent on thinking about strategy. So that's what you want, okay? You want to spend your time reflecting on your experiences and your leadership values because it's a powerful means through which leaders can develop a shared understanding throughout an organization. When you have a leadership point of view and it's shared to everyone, it is a lubricant. When you have shared principles and perspectives, it serves as a lubricant of the interaction, hence minimizing friction. Mas mabilis. Kasi iisa binabasa nyo, iisang perspective nyo eh. Make sense? Please type yes, if you're still connected. Ayan. Ayan. So this is what you need. You need to have a shared perspective. Okay? You need to have a leadership point of view. I remember that's why I ask you to read books. I remember si BK, pinabasa ko sa kanya Starfish and Spider. And then after reading that, sabi niya sa akin, "Sir, naintindihan ko na kung ano yung ginagawa mo. Catalyst ka, champion ako." Tapos sabi niya, binuksan mo yung third eye ko. Yun yung third eye, sabi ko, nakakatawa. But that's what you want, You want to have a shared understanding. And when you have a shared understanding, mas mabilis kumilos. Mas mabilis ang execution. Right? So now, the next question is, how do you come up? Or why does it matter, rather? Why does LPOV matters? No? So I've been reading this book. Ito na naman ako. Magbasa na kayo. Alam nyo na yan, di ba? I-play ko na lang, magbasa kayo. Ayan, di ba? So, this is from G.H. Smart, and it's one of the best business advisory when it comes to leadership selection and succession. They're the guys you go to. Okay? They're data-centered, and this is based on their breakthrough study of over 2,600 leaders. Ayan. Sabi niya, one of the hallmarks of great CEOs, according to their study, 4 yung behavior. One of the hallmarks is decisiveness. Okay? Mabilis magdesisyon. Fala desisyon. Ayan. Mabilis magdesisyon ang mga magagaling na CEOs. Bakit? Because they make faster decisions. Okay? They make faster decisions. Bakit ang bilis nila magdesisyon? Because they make fewer decisions. Bakit ang konti lang ng mga decision nila? Because they frame all decisions using a leadership point of view. I hope you're still following. Please type LPOV if you are still with me para alam kong nagagrasp pa natin. Ayan, LPOV, alright? So, great leaders are able to make quick decisions. If they're able to make quick decisions, they can see the results quickly. So, alam nila, mag-a-adjust ba ako? Or, kukorek ko ba tong decision na to? So, first to know, first to act. And the reason why they can do that is they make fewer decisions. Bakit? Konti lang di-decisionan nila eh. Kasi meron silang leadership framework. So, for example, sa Arise, di ba, you're recruiting. And you're recruiting and you have I is integrity. So all the resume is perfect, everything checks out, and then nag-background call ka or nag-background check ka. And do this, mag-background check kayo. Okay, call the people na sinasabi niya doon. And then malalaman natin na, okay, hindi honorable dismissal yan dito. Hindi maganda exit yan. Okay? So ngayon, magtatanong ka pa ba, hire ko pa ba to? O ano? Kasi matik na yon, di ba? Okay, obviously, may integrity issue. At dahil meron kang arise, meron kang core value, meron kang leadership perspective, it filters. Okay, move on to the next one. So fast. Speed. And in the e-com industry, most of you are in the e-com, di ba? Speed is everything. You know, you want to make quick decision, you want to correct it if it's wrong, you want to reinforce it if it's right. So ganun tayo, di ba? All right. So making sense? Ayan. Sige. So as we move on, let's do a case study. Si GE. How much time do you have? Okay, sell time. So si GE is, they're having challenges right now, but this is a 100-year-old company. They're one of the best companies when it comes to developing CEOs. In fact, they're called the CEO Factory. One CEO commented, if I need money, I go to a bank. If I need a CEO, I go to GE. Ganun yung perspective, no? Back in its glory days. Si Jack Welch, the late Jack Welch said, my products, that's why they are able to do that, is because this is their leadership point of view. My products, sabi niya, from the CEO standpoint, were people. It's not the engines, it's not the shows, it's not the finances, it's really people from the CEO standpoint. And the proudest thing I am is that we have CEOs all over the world who came from this system. In the business world, the top 3 producers of CEOs, meaning ito yung pinipirata yung mga executive nila, ginagawang CEO sa kumpanya, kay CEO Factory, IBM, McKinsey, and GE. Yan ang top 3 as of 2018, I believe. Ayan. So with that, yan ang perspective ni Jack Welch. And because of that perspective, he created GE Crotonville. Now, this is revered. This is hallowed grounds. This is their leadership factory. Ayan ang actual shot of that. Ito yung training academy nila. Ayan. And one day, magkakaroon tayo niyan sa CIA. Yes! Please type yes. Chris, tama ba? Magkakaroon tayo ng ganito? Ayan. And this is their classroom. Ayan, di ba? So this is what you call the pit. And they get all the great speakers, all the great CEOs teach their managers and their leaders. No wonder they're a CEO factory. Okay, so this GE Crotonville, you heard he's known as Jack Welch yan, but this is the guy behind it. His name is Dr. Noel Tichy. And if you're gonna ask me top 5 ko na books to read, obviously Jim Collins is one, Jack Welch, Dr. Noel Tichy is one of them. Ram Charan and so on, Gary Hamel, but he's one. He's the biggest influence sa akin when it comes to building corporate universities. He wrote a lot of books na sinasabi ko kay BK, basahin niya yung Control Your Destiny or Someone Else Will. Ayan. So may leadership engine, succession. But this is, if you want to build a corporate university, dayan. Ayan, basahin mo to. Ayan, the cycle of leadership. Ayan. Sige, so he's the guy behind it. And the reason why we're able to build Northport Academy, Labor Professional Academy, Seller Sub, and so on, is because of this book. So, according to him, ito ang practices of talent multipliers. Okay, ito yung mga ito yung ini-instill niya sa mga leaders. Number 1, teaching to learn. Okay? Sabi ni Frank nagturo sa akin ito. Teaching is learning it twice. If you're a leader, by default you're a teacher. Hindi po pwede na hindi ka nagtuturo tapos leader ka. Well, pwede yun. Kung ayaw mo mag-scale, walang problema. Diba? But if you're a leader and you want to scale, you need to teach. Hindi ako magaling magturo, then get on with it and learn. Hindi po pwede hindi tayo nagtuturo. Teach it the way you like. Teach it quietly. Walang kinalaman dito personality. Mahihain kasi ako. But you can still teach. Diba? Teach it and how you do it. But you have to teach. This is part of the job. So teaching to learn is one practice. The second is learning to teach. Just because we know how to we teach something doesn't mean we get expert na tayo. We need to keep getting better in how to communicate. So teaching to learn, learning to teach. The third is repeat forever. 90% of your job as a leader is all about teaching. Kaya sabi ko nga kanina in the behind the scenes, no? If you're a leader, and 90% of your time is not spent in meetings, you're not doing a good enough job. Kasi Yung 90% ay in meetings, you're communicating, you're teaching, you're building management tools into the competency of the person, you're building the team, you're communicating your point of view, and whatever. So I hope that makes sense. Yes, please type yes, I. If you are engaged pa rito. Ayan, dun sa mga nanonood sa atin, comment naman dyan. Uy, si Alay, nanonood do. Ayan. Alright. So, how do you craft your leadership point of view? Okay, 3 practices. Okay, the first one, look back. Look at our experiences. Second, learn within. From those experiences, we ask ourselves, what lessons did I learn? Ano ba yung natutunan ko dun sa experience na yun? And then, you lead forward. Now, kaya pala ako ganito mag-operate is because of that experience, we can now adjust it, refine it, and communicate it. Hindi pwedeng sa isip lang. Diba? Hindi pwedeng kasi hindi naman mind reader ang mga tao. Kinakailangan kino-communicate natin ito. So the 3 practices, look back, learn within, lead forward. Ayan. So far, so good. Please type so good if you are still with me. Ayan. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So now, let's get practical. Okay. Para ano to, mabilis tayo. How do you create or how do you install a culture of talent multiplication? 3 I. So this is my leadership point of view na naman. Sinishare ko sa inyo. 3 I. The first one, insights. And this is what David Gergen calls reflective practice. Diba? You reflect on your activities. Okay, that's why, again, as a leader, it's all about the brainware na eh. It's no longer about the hands. You know, we do, at thinking is very exhausting. Kaya talaga, sa tingin nyo, yung leader, walang ginagawa, paupo-upo lang. Well, may mga ganon. Pero it's really about thinking. You know, you know, your time is spent thinking. That's why ako, when I read and then I scroll Facebook, it's not I want to scroll. It's because I'm processing the information, which some people mistake. Ay, grabe, lagi siya na social media. That's not. I'm using the social media to communicate my learning in that moment. So David Gergen, just to give you a background, is the advisor of 4 US presidents: Bill Clinton, Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, and Richard Nixon. So, segue lang ako, again, if US presidents, the most powerful man in the world, needed the David Gergen, so wala pa naman, hindi naman tayo presidente nga ng bansa natin, tapos hindi natin kailangan ng advisor. Come on, huwag ganon. Diba? And when I say advisor, I mean peer advisors, get into a circle, get someone who will teach you the ropes, diba? So that's what we're building here in our ecosystem. So do a reflective practice and ask yourself this: what critical lesson did I personally gain from that experience? Because if you don't reflect, it will be instinct. Hindi siya insight. And instinct, reactive tayo. Diba? Hindi natin naiintindihan, basta may nangyari lang, magre-react tayo, which means we're not in control. As leaders, we're not in control of our reaction, and that's not how we operate. We need to be always strategic in our move. So we need to be explicit with our perspectives and principles so that, kaya pala ako ganito. Kasi ito yung natutunan ko. The reason why I believe in DNA is because I worked in a team na walang shared DNA. And it was a mess. Ang hirap kumilos. Nangangapa ka. Paano ba kumilos dito? Ano bang gagawin natin? Ano bang target? Ano bang role ko? Kaya pala ako nakabuo ng DNA. Make sense? Please type make sense if you're still with me. Ayan. Diba? So reflect, look back. What are the, in my journey, what are the lessons that did I learn? Diba? And then, after that, write it down, ha? Write it down. Hindi pwedeng sa isip lang. Diba? Think in paper. Always think in paper. Because iba pag nakikita mo nakasulat yung gusto mong sabihin o yung idea mo, iba. At iba pa yun pag naka-deck, promise yan. That's why we're giving opportunities for others to teach, no? Kasi iba pagka iba pagka you're actually doing it and you're putting it in a deck. Ayan. What went well, not so well, and what to do next. Yes! Yan. Next. All right. Next is, after the insight, instructions. Okay. And this is, I want to camp in this one a bit, no? So tayo, now that you have a leadership perspective, okay, what you really want is to get the results. Tama? Diba? You have a certain expectation of result. Ito yung result na gusto ko mangyari. Now, for that result to happen, may mga action tayo na ginawa. Tama? Diba? So may mga action tayong ginawa, kaya nangyari ito. Yes? So with that, etong actions na to, it is guided by principles or our leadership point of view. And our principles came from our experiences, reflecting on our experiences. Okay, so now we write down, so if I want to get this, ito yung mga kailangan kong action. So kung ganito yung action na kailangan ko, ito yung mga principles ko. Now, when you have that leadership point of view, how do you scale now? So parang para maging consistent yung result, kailangan maging consistent yung action. Para maging consistent yung action, kailangan maging consistent yung principle. So what I need is to clone my brain. Tama? I need to clone my brain. How do we clone our brain? This is where the leadership perspective comes in. So now that you have a leadership point of view, you have an idea, you pick that out and you inject that to your team. To someone, you infuse that idea to your team. Now that others have that principle, they will now do that action, which will now continue the result you expect. That's how you scale. Make sense? Please type yes, I, if you're still here. That's why it's very important na we're very explicit in our principles because it allows us continuity. Kasi pag wala na ako, pero na-inject ko na yung principle na ito dito sa teammate ko, pwede na akong gumawa ng iba kasi tuloy-tuloy na yan. Ayan, di ba? So, listen, like virus, ideas are the only products that grows when shared. If I have a clicker, I give it to you, wala na akong clicker. Hindi, meron pa ako isa. But you get what I'm saying? But when I have an idea, I have a principle, I give it to you, you have a principle, I still have mine. And imagine if you have that principle, you share it. Ngayon, ito na ang conversation, ha? Louder, ayan. Diba? Louder daw. For the back, ayan. So that's what you want, right? Imagine if the two of you started sharing that principle. Kaya ang lawak ng reach natin, eh. To be honest with you, multiplication now, I'm seeing a lot of posts that from people I don't know that are using the quotes that I share. So you're hearing or you're reading your post from someone else's wall that you don't have a connection with. That's the impact of being a talent multiplier. Yes? And so this is what we want. Just like the virus, we infect others with our principles. Okay? And the third one is you intensify. And I still have time. No, yeah, you intensify. How do you intensify? By giving them experiences. The Pareto principle in talent development is 80-20. You know, 80-20 meaning the two practices are education experiences. So education is courses, teaching, principles of scaling, executive education. But that's only 20%. 80% are the experience, the projects. That's why as leaders, we teach the principle, yes, but we give them opportunity. Huwag nating saluhin because we're robbing them of growth opportunities. Eh. They have to be held accountable. Kasi iba magpe-perform yan pagka may safety net. Eh, kasi kahit ano naman mangyari, safe naman ako eh. Pero tanggalin mo yung safety net, dyan lalabas talaga ang galing yan. Yes! Ayan. So huwag tayong salo ng salo. Diba? Kasi growth opportunity nila yun eh. So now, I hope I'm starting to make sense. Ayan, nagkakaroon na tayo ng shared perspective because I'm sharing my leadership point of view sa inyo. Diba? So we don't want to be rescuers. You know, we might be tempted, ako yung leader eh. I have to solve this. No. Diba? Give them, you give the pen back. Let them solve it for themselves. And if not, doon kasi sila mapoforce na alamin kung ano yung kailangan nila. If you are faced with a challenge, it will reveal two things. May mga bagay pala ako na kaya kong gawin na hindi ko alam. Or, hindi ko pala talaga kaya to. Either way, you will see people for who they really are. Challenges reveal us. Not really create us. But they reveal who we are and then use that opportunity to shape us. Uy, dumami bigla. Ayan. Salamat. Sige. So, here's the loop. You get insights. You reflect on the experiences that I have. Ito yung mga lessons ko. The build, the bind, the break. And then you instruct that. You share that to people. And then after that, you give them experiences, projects. Yung pass or fail. Yung talagang they will be accountable for it. If hindi to nag-succeed, it's on you. Diba? And tayo, we learn best from experience. Yes, we learn from other CEOs, from their experiences. Diba? It's wiser, honestly. Pero mas na-appreciate natin pag pinagdaanan natin. Kaya lang una natin pagdaanan kung hindi naman kailangan, diba? So, yeah. And then once you intensify, you have the experience, you reflect on it again, and that's how we get better. Yes, it's an infinite loop. Ayan. All right. So, in closing, I hope you had a great time watching this episode. The month is all about being missional, building institutions for legacy beyond simply making money. In week 1, we talk about this as the architect. Last week we talked about operating in excellence, and now we're talking about progressing experience. Next week we'll talk about thinking in generations. So as I close this series, it's one heck of a series. Amazing episode. Hey Jay, we missed you. I hope you're better. Nagkasakit din ako. Okay? Ito yung tinanong kong question kanina sa mga tao. Sige, sigot nga kayo. What would you rather have right now? 1 cent that doubles every day or $1 million? Please type 1 cent or 1 million. Para lang alam ko. Ayan, 1 cent. Daya naman yun, love. Si BK to the moon. Ayan, 1 cent. Alright. 1 cent. Wala bang 1 million? Mag 1 million naman kayo para namang Okay. So if you chose 1 cent, Victor Nang, oy, welcome. Ayan. So if you chose 1 cent, you're right, diba? You got the better deal. Kasi look, if a penny, isang sentimo that doubles every day for 30 days, after 30 days, it's 5,368,709.12. So that's what you call, that's for 30 days. That's what you call the compounding effect. And it's the 8th wonder of the world, sabi nga ni Warren Buffett. So I was thinking about this when I encountered this week. Sabi ko, grabe 1 cent that doubles every day is 5 million in 30 days. And in connection to the topic, sabi ko, imagine us as leaders. If we're leaders and we're talent multipliers and we're multiplying, imagine what we can do in 30 years. If this can happen in 30 days, imagine what we can do in 30 years if we keep multiplying. Sharing the same principle of building institutions. And that's how we change the world. So listen, and this is how I'll end this series. It's up to us. We can't wait for others to change the current situation of the business landscape of our nation. We can't wait for them. We can't wait for the Ayalas. Actually, kailangan nga nila tulong natin. Hindi, hintay ko na lang maging maayos yung sistema ng Pilipinas, lalo na sa negosyo. We can't. Kasi it's up to us. Diba sabi ni Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you want to see. Is it Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther? But we want to be the change. So if we're going to change the business landscape, it's up to us. It's up to you. It's up to me. And the way to do that is we keep multiplying the principles that we have here. We want to be missional. We want to build institutions in a world where it's all about money. It's all about money now. Diba? Bankrupt later, okay lang yon. Budol now. Utuin mo yung kliyente mo na, huwag mo nang kausapin after na kuha yung pera. In a world where like that, no, we're different. We're building for long term. Okay? You're being missional. in a world full of mediocrity where everyone is dragging you down to their level, pagka magandang performance mo, so, ay, grabe, ginagalingan naman. They're shaming, di ba? People are shaming us for being excellent. Ginalingan mo naman, ikaw na. Well, isn't that the case? Di ba? Dapat ganon. Don't lower your expectations. Raise your standards. And in a world where they're thinking about right now, we think for the next generation. Hodinoshani. Our decisions today, we should reflect on what its impact in the 7th generation. So here's my closing quote. Yan. At their best, leaders have the power to create a new and better reality. If we want a better business landscape in the next 5 years, it's up to us. We have that power to create that. But the only way to do that is for leaders enlisting the people around them to do something different and often seemingly impossible by multiplying themselves, sharing their perspective. And here's my closer. Interdependence, not independence, wins the game. This is a team sport. The big companies, they need us and we need them. So we need to start working. Yes? So with that, I want to end this series with 3 words. Let's get to work. All right. Thank you so much. Love, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sir Pa. Grabe. I'm still in the zone. I'm speechless. But anyway, we have our Insights contributor po. And let me call her. Thank you.
Ayan.
Feeling ko nag-volunteer siguro to. But let's have Miss Princess Anne Colado to
Ayun!
share her insights.
Sige, Princess, go!
Actually, sir, di ako nag-volunteer. Napili lang din.
Ayun, na-volunturo. Ayan.
Oo. Actually, tumatak sa akin is yung endgame to, or gagawin natin to in infinite game. And if we want to do that, kailangan natin ng tamang tao. So, ang tumatak sa akin is yung pinakaunang insight or unang quotes, when you have the right people, crisis binds you closer with each other to find a way. While when you have the wrong people, crisis breaks you apart with each other to find who is to blame. Kasi tama naman like, if may tamang tao ka, hindi nila sisisihin yung ibang tao dahil sa pagkakamali nila. Ang gagawin nila is maghahanap sila ng paraan para yung crisis maging opportunity. Yung mga maling tao kasi magbiblame sila Bakit sila magbiblame? Kasi hindi na nila kaya. Instead to make a way, sisisihin na lang nila yung ibang tao. And doon papasok yung part na, si leader na lang ulit gagawa. Kasi nagsisihan na
Yeah.
So, yun yung akin. Kailangan talaga ng tamang tao para sa infinite game.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Sis.
Sige, sir.
Thank
Di ko
you
ubusin
so
kasi baka wala akong ma-insight.
Ayan, oo nga pala. Ito ang insight writer natin.
Thank you so much po, Miss Cess, and we look forward to right up. Okay, anyway, thank you so much, Sir Fa and Miss Cess, also for your insights. And thank you, everyone, for joining us in our Principles of Scaling today. Please remember po, next week, we have our CEO Summit. So see you there. And of course, if you want to be the host, operator, and director of our POS, please message your circle multipliers for next month's POS. That would be all. This is Love. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.